Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us today on Morning Spring, the week starter and the month starter, by the way. Happy New Month, perhaps. Obviously, we are just seeing, through these medium, these particular time, the first working day, official working day of the 9th month of this year, 2024. We wish you all the best that it brings. And we hope, very hopeful, that it favors us all as individuals and as a nation, especially when we all do what we should do as a people, starting from me, starting from you as well. Femi Ojo remains my name, and I welcome you. And of course, Tomilola is here. Good morning.
Good morning, Femi.
Yeah.
It feels so good to be back on the show. Yes, it's so good to also have you watching us this morning.
Right.
Welcome to the Morning Spring, where we tell you, we inform you about most of the things happening in governance and life in general. My name is Tomilola Daniel, and I welcome you once again.
Very well. On the program, we usually have the papers where we do a review and bring you headlines from our major stories. And of course, at the other side of that, we then get talking about different issues, speaking to critical stakeholders about these issues. Very quickly, before we go to the papers, it wasn't more like a good news at all, during the weekend when people got hooked of the information from the NNPCL talking about they agreed, to accept that some of those figures read out the information on some major dailies about their indebtedness, and which many persons will say maybe it wasn't like that. At the end of the day, they've come clean. Maybe if that is actually clean, to say yes, we are owing. And then Nigerians will say, wait a minute. So what are you trying to say? Do you have anything to say specific to tell us? And if NNPC or they say they are owing petroleum importers, marketers, what does this mean? In as much as they are not able to service that relationship, you know what that means for the petroleum sector. In fact, the disruption that we had the last few weeks has not really cleaned up. And then NNPCL is saying this at this time. I think we should get serious, just like our analysts will say, we speak to him in a while, especially on the airline segment. We need to get serious as a nation and hold ourselves accountable. After deniers, we are fine, especially Tomilola, a NNPCL that posted, was it last month, 3.3 trillion naira in gain. All of a sudden, the next month, they say they are owing. As they say in Nigeria on the street, they play. But we don't want to play on this particular one, especially at this time. We take this quick break. When we come back, we look at what the papers have for us. It's Morning Spring on Western Spring Television with Femi and Tomilola. Stay with us. All right, the papers are in, and of course, we kick the paper, the headline segment rather, from this particular point, the Nigerian Tribune for today. Petrol scarcity may worsen nationwide, on a Monday morning, the first official working day. I'm sure this is not the kind of news anybody wants to listen to or want to hear, but it is the truth, and we must hone our reality and work on it. Petrol scarcity may worsen nationwide. A rider saying NNPC admits owing suppliers, says financial strain on company poses threat to sustainability of supply. List NNPCL on stock exchange now. That's an advice from Atiku. Alleges oil company providing cover for subsidy payments. And of course, just below that, you have the picture of business mogul and the founder of Tony Olumelu Foundation, Mr. Tony Olumelu himself, who is the group chairman of the UBA, that's a bank in Nigeria, and of course the president of Senegal, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, and away from that, minimum wage, Ekiti government constitutes committee to negotiate with Labour. League of Northern Democrats seeks roles for El Rufai Lukman as group lobbies traditional rulers. Interesting. coalition plans to reposition One North ahead of 2027, and how how Tinubu government should tackle high food prices and hardship. That's coming from Catholic Bishop Street. Stakeholders, others cry out over high interest rates, electricity tariff, ask federal government CBN to reset 40 economic sectors, and how Southwest farmers can key into low-cost irrigation farming to prevent food shortage. That's coming from an agri export rather. And I've just read from the Nigerian Tribune for some analyses. Let me welcome Ladeji Alabi. Ladeji, good morning. Happy New Month.
Good morning to you, Femi. Tomi, happy New Month to you guys and to our few viewers at home.
Very well. Petrol scarcity may worsen nationwide, and the riders are key. The riders say NNPC admits owing suppliers, and they are saying financial strain on company poses threat to sustainability of supply. Your take, Ladeji.
You know, when you were reading the headline, what came to my mind is history will always justify, some of us that have been shouting all this while. When you talk most time, they feel like, oh, it is because you hate the government. It is because you don't like Tinubu. I care less about whoever is the president. What I care most about is that the lives and, every Nigerians get to enjoy the dividends of democracy. As an oil producing state, for more than 2 months, we've been battling, fuel subsidy. And I think the president himself is the petroleum minister, right? He is the petroleum minister. The same thing Buhari did for 8 years that did not take us anywhere. He is the petroleum minister. The implication is that by now he should have resigned that position as a petroleum minister. Even Mele Kyari, because they told us subsidy is gone, but we got to know that Nigeria has even paid more than what we used to pay in terms of subsidy. And if we say subsidy is gone, if $1 to a naira is about 1,600 naira, another conversation entirely that they've been saying, oh, it will come down, it will do this, it will do that. If $1 to naira is at around 1,600 naira, we are selling fuel at less than 1,000 naira, it means it doesn't make any sense. Then if you look at it, against other companies owned by government, Saudi Aramco, how much are they making? How much are they declaring as profit every year? How much is NNPC declaring? See, a lot of us have concluded that NNPC, they've turned it to a secret society where the government comes in, each and every government comes in and see, let's dip our hands into this place, let's bring up money. You've seen what has been happening around NNPC in the last few days, few weeks or thereabout. You know there is problem for us in this country if citizens doesn't, because I don't see any political class, trying to help us now.
Right.
I think the citizens need to take responsibility themselves. These people are living large by the day. And Nigerians, the average Nigerian, the majority, that forms the majority of the people in this country.
Ladeji, let's look at this. Yeah. They are saying that financial, I want you to look at that, categorically.
Okay.
NNPC admits owing suppliers. That's one conversation.
Why should they owe?
Now, even the admittance at the end of the day, because before you admit,
After denial,
now says
Femi, I'm coming. Just less than
let me just put
ago.
it together. Says financial strain on company poses threat to sustainability of supply. What is that strain?
The strain is that.
Who is straining?
Don't forget, the same NNPC came out when people said government has been paying subsidy. They said no, it's not subsidy, it's shortfall.
Yeah.
I laughed because we are not fools. Nigerians are not fools. If you call something shortfall,
so you think that is what you are talking about?
That's the constraint they are talking about. You are just beating around the bush.
Constraint means pressure. So what's that pressure?
Of course, the pressure of
you are saying you are no more
the landing cost.
I remember this conversation happened when they had their 2023 audit. The same place they talk about 3.3 trillion naira gain
profit.
And they said for the last 9 months they have not been paying anybody. That what happened is just the shortfall.
You see, these people should not play with words. See, this age.
So where does this lead Nigerians?
It leads us to nowhere.
The people will still suffer for this.
Nigerians will suffer the more. Femi, on Friday, I was around NNPC, their mega station here, and I did the video. From where I was, NNPC is about 200 to 300 meters from there. So imagine the queue from there. Then I did another more than 500 meters, and I saw cars parked, bus, transport bus, but every other day. Queue for at NNPC. Go to NIPCO filling station, go to Bovas, go to any major marketer. You see queues there. Nigerians are wasting hours in filling stations.
Quickly,
and these
Deji, because
people
of time,
seem
I
not
want
to
us to
care.
look at the import of this release. You know what this kind of information does to us?
Femi,
when marketers, traders hear this,
Femi,
maybe we have not even seen hoarding at all.
Femi,
Because this is what it does to people.
When I saw the post on their X handle yesterday, I quoted it and I said 1,000 naira per liter. Is that you? That's the question I asked, because that's around where we are going. That is their goal. Nigerians, and they know Nigerians will not say anything, because the moment some people want to come out to say
it's a ploy to raise.
It's a ploy. Let's get to see it in few days. We will see the official rate moved officially to 1,000 naira at least. Then other marketers that source for fuel from wherever they are, they sell at maybe 1,500 naira. This is where we are.
Interesting. That will be all from the front page of the Nigerian Tribune.
Moving to the Vanguard newspaper for this morning, commercial banks give agric sector 4.68 trillion naira loan in 5 years. Article demands listing of NNPCL on stock exchange. High interest rate 2.5 trillion naira loan strangulate consumer goods manufacturers. No end in sight to petrol scarcity as economy gaps for breath. And I think that is one of the major headlines we have on all dailies this morning. And we can also see a picture of the UBA, yes, and Ilumelu, yes, and the Senegalese
of UBA,
yes, of UBA,
and Senegal president.
Yeah, and that is all from the Vanguard newspaper. But I would like to also ask our analyst this morning. Article demands listing of NNPCL on stock exchange, and one of the reasons he gave for this is that this petroleum sector demands transparency, accountability, and the likes. What's your take on that?
Of course, yes. There is no doubt again that Nigerians need to put their eyes, because this thing is not owned by anybody in power. It is owned in trust by Nigerians. So if you are there today as the petroleum minister, you are there as the group general manager of NNPCL, you are there as an employee of Nigerian people. So Tommy, let's just bring it down. You employed me to do something for you. Are you not meant to know what is going on? Are you meant to just be, okay, so this is what I'll just come and tell you, we make a profit of 3 trillion naira this month, and the next time I will tell you, ma, we are holding again. You deserve to know what is going on. How do you manage this company? How many number of staff do I have? Who are the people working for if not for the last protest or thereabouts that people were shouting? That's the first time I've ever seen NNPC come out to announce, job opportunities. You don't know how they get to employ people. You don't know their budgetary plans for every year. They just spend the money as they wish. NNPC should be open to the people. It is owned by Nigerians. You don't just run it as a private business.
But it's being run as a business.
It is being run by
NNPCL.
Femi, even if it is a business, that's why I make that illustration. Even if it is a business, the people that owns it needs to know. Nigerians own this place, or is it a property of Mele Kyari? It's not owned by Mele Kyari or Tinubu. It is owned by Nigerian people, and they deserve to know. Go and check, the books of Aramco, Saudi Aramco. You will see detailed information. You will see serious people at work. Saudi Aramco, they said they refine a liter of PMS at about $3. The NNPC refines it for over $30 per liter. So what is the difference? Why the serious difference in both? We should look at these things. Nigerians should ask questions. Right. We should, because PMS forms one of the basic things we use every day. Virtually everybody that have come to this office today, they traveled via bike, bus, or even their private cars. They use PMS and they pay for all these things. Nigerians deserve to know.
I agree. Just like talked about PMS, is a leveler.
It's a leveler. Everybody gets.
Petrol is the same thing that a rickety Datsun
needs, and the Lexus, the biggest Lexus needs. Of course, and you see the big men also. They queue for fuel.
Interesting.
Of course, yes, the queue.
All right, we move quickly to the Punch. Petrol scarcity. So, just like Tomilola said, virtually all the papers have it. Petrol scarcity said to worsen as NNPCL admits $6 billion debt. Debt with riders, debt to petrol suppliers has caused financial strain. PMS supply threatened. I was trying to say something earlier, Deji, that this information only, especially with that kind of nature in Nigeria, the moment you hear the NNPC coming out officially to even say there might be disruptions. Ladeji, you know that one does what that information does to petrol station owners and the rest of it. And I'm sure by this morning now, panic buying will have started. In fact, from last night.
It would have. As of yesterday, even the queue at NNPC was very crazy. And
that was before this information.
Before the information came out. And that was one of the reasons why we faulted the comments of the president during his inauguration. Very, very careless statement. Right. Subsidy is gone. The subsidy that's how we found ourselves here.
And Dangote Refinery petrol ready for rollout. Maybe that will put some cushion if actually we can have this started officially. Power generation down by 1,400 megawatts as discos reject allocations. And Nigeria has second highest rate of food insecurity. That's coming from Bill Gates. Hunger protests. Federal government arraigns activist British ally today. And wanted ex-beauty queen surrenders to NDLEA for drug offense. That will be all from the Punch this morning. But quickly, from Bill Gates, you know, is somebody that is close to Africa. He has humanitarian and philanthropic works being done here with Melinda, his former wife. Nigeria has second highest rate of food insecurity. Ladeji, that's not difficult to know, isn't it? Well, food insecurity.
We don't need a prophet to tell us that, except we want to deceive ourselves, except we want to hide behind the finger like Yoruba people will say.
But sometimes we should quote some of this report, because if Bill Gates is saying Nigeria has second highest rate of food insecurity, you are telling me ahead of Sudan, ahead of South Sudan, ahead of some countries that are war-torn, Niger.
Femi, what makes it worse for us is that
some of these countries are constantly fighting.
Femi, what makes it, don't forget last year, Ukraine, that is fighting against the powerful Russia, supplied us with wheat. Ukraine, a war-torn country. So what makes it more difficult is that we are not in a serious war. Yes, we have banditry and
like all-out war.
All-out war, you get? But we are still facing this crisis. It shows we are on serious people. It shows we have on serious people leading us across board.
So you believe this report from Bill Gates?
I don't need to see the report from Bill Gates now. You know, yes, last year when was it the World Bank or the International Monetary Fund came out to say federal government is paying subsidy. You know, before then I said it. El Rufai came out to say the same thing. People said it was because of the fallout between him and the president. I said, no, you don't need to see. You don't need a prophet to tell you these things. What is the purchasing power of the people over there? I mean, out there? How many of the things we consume are we producing? Yes, we cannot close our borders to say we are not importing anything, but we should always also be ready to augment whatever we are importing with what we produce back home. But how many farmers can go back to farm? How many? Just over the weekend in Sokoto State, places where, as a matter of fact, we had in the news that a particular school, bandits went there, pick out students, killed them. People can't go to school, people can't go to farm. And you say we are not in food crisis, we are in. But our leaders care less. All they want to do is to travel around the world. Go to China, go to France. They can't stay in Lagos, they build. They go to where they feel there is life. You saw in the news over the weekend that CBN governor and his team just got themselves new bulletproof vehicles. They want to live in affluence. Why the people you are leading, and every now and then at every monthly meeting, CBN comes out with another terrible rate. They care less about the people. That's the reality.
All right.
Across board, they care less.
That will be all.
All right, lastly, on Daily Trust newspaper for this morning, end bad governance. Protesters for trial in Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Borno today. A Nel Fund, Kano, Borno, Benue, Katsina top loan applicants list. Petrol price may rise as NNPCL admits financial strain. A new emir of Ningi, Aruna, Toband. 21 million naira jumbo pay. Sarah sues Akpabio Abbas for fixing NAS running cost. Still on the Daily Trust newspaper, concerns over Gbajabia Miller's oversight of agencies. And lastly, Zenith Bank post 406.8 billion naira pre-tax profit in the second quarter. And I would like to ask our analyst regarding the end bad governance. Protesters for trial in Abuja, Kano, Kaduna, Borno today. And we also know that we knew the fate of the NSAS protesters who were in prison for 4 years and were released recently. So what do you feel is the fate of this new protesters who are going to face trial today?
Well, I just feel, I've always been a fan of if anybody does anything against the law, should face the whatever. But the question I kept asking our security agencies is, where did we keep this energy when bandits are attacking our people? You know, over the weekend, there was a video trending of, former governor of Rivers State. Femi knows it. I'm not a fan of him. The current minister of FCT, threatening sitting governors. I never see Peter Funaya of DSS come out to release a statement. Muiwa Adejobi of the police, Force PRO. They will not come out and bring statement because it's a threat. If a minister will come out to tell governors that I will put fire in your state, it should be questioned. Even the person that employed him, the president should caution him. But no, they won't say all those. But when people want to cry out, you want to beat a child and you don't want him to cry, it doesn't make sense. Now, we have energy to try. Over the weekend, there was a Daily Trust or Premium Time report that the police investigation, the tracking unit, they only used to track political enemy, mistresses, and all these funny things. But we have bandits attacking our people. We just spoke about food crisis. We have bandits attacking our people. We have bandits killing our retired professors, abducting medical doctors, picking up emirs, killing kings, attacking our ex-chiefs, killing our soldiers. We cannot use all those intelligence. But the people that comes out to say, see, we are hungry, give us food. We have the energy to take them to court. Shame on all of us.
It's something that we have to really work on and do our bit as well. I want to thank you, Ladeji.
Always a pleasure
for
to
your time
be
on the program. And of course, the reason why we have this program every day is to speak to issues and speak truth to power, holding every one of us, responsible for the capacity that we hold towards. These are conversations, no matter how frank and deep and brutal it can appear sometimes, leads towards having a better nation that we are all proud of, irrespective of tribe, tongue, political parties, or religious affiliations. These are the issues. We take this quick break. When we come back, we speak about the state of the nation and what a particular group thinks and the proposal, suggestion they are making to the president and the federal government to please play a particular part. We'll be back